what you gonna bring to the table tonight? Give it to me, and I'm gonna give it to you. They don't understand the hunger we got in our doggone belly. It ain't no doggone tomorrow, fellas. We gonna store up today, or we gonna store out. Or you gonna bust somebody in their mouth? Hold on, hold in.
Welcome to the Straight from the Crest podcast.
Back here, watch his hand hit the ball. Ball out. There's no forward motion going.
Is that a fumble?
That's a fumble. Yeah.
No. That is a fumble.
What you got, White? What you got?
It's a turnover.
Wait, what happened to Purdy? Why Purdy out?
Purdy got hit on the Hassan Reddick fumble.
That hurt you there? This was weak. Okay. What is it?
Brock Purdy has been taken out of the game.
Your initial reaction, I know going into the San Francisco game, it was kind of beefed up to be a very good game, competitive, and Philadelphia skates out of there with the 31-7 win. What was your initial reaction after that game?
Well, obviously, I was really excited that the Eagles are going to be going to the Super Bowl. I felt that they were one of the top 3 or 4 best teams in the NFL. I mean, I felt that it was going to be, as far as teams going to the Super Bowl, it's going to be Kansas City, Cincinnati, Buffalo, and then obviously the Eagles in San Francisco. And what kind of worried me was, San Francisco had a great defense. They had not lost a game, I don't think, since McCaffrey came on board in mid-October. And I was concerned about their defense and, the whole Brock Purdy thing going and, being the last pick in the draft. But no, I was excited for the win. And, once he got hurt and the Eagles went up 21-7, I felt pretty good at halftime that the Eagles were going to win.
A little concerned going into it. I thought it was going to be a little challenging. I did think the D-line was going to have their way with Purdy, though. I mean, it kind of sucks, or I feel bad, obviously, that the dude got hurt, but the fact they knocked him out, I mean, just helped him out, though.
It was such a blowout, and it was supposed to be such a huge game, but then the way Purdy got hurt right in the beginning, you were like, all right. And then one of their other players got hurt, and you're like, all right. And then, it hits the third quarter, and you're up by, 15, 20? I forget what it was. And they scored, and you're like, oh shit! All right, this is where it's going to fall apart. As a Philly fan, you're like, this is where we have our hearts breaking in every sport, every year.
As a Philadelphia sports fan, 2022 to 2023, it's been an absolutely incredible run. So you can't forget, Philadelphians already had a little game plan in their head, because a couple months ago for the World Series, when the Phillies made that, when we beat San Diego, there was a party in the streets. Now, Clay and I, we were lucky enough to be at the Phillies game. But this time when we were downtown, we were at a bar. Ironically enough, we were at Dave Portnoy's bar, Barstool Sansom Street, which is about a block off of Broad Street, right in front of City Hall. Immediately, once the clock hit 0, we sung our anthem, Dreams and Nightmares came on. Then it was time to hit Broad Street. The Philadelphia police, they were greasing the poles, but that didn't stop a thing. People were dancing, people were drinking. It was incredible.
The feeling of being back in the Super Bowl, being in the city for it was big since I was up at State College by now. We went in 17. Just that energy, being in the bar with everybody going crazy. It's something that I know you can't relate to. And it's, a moment that I definitely would cherish for the rest of my entire life.
What was your initial reaction from the win against San Francisco this past weekend?
I mean, the bias in me wants to say I wasn't surprised, but I mean, once Purdy went down, it's, as a football fan, it sucked to see the competitiveness come out of the game. I wanted to see a good game. Don't get me wrong, I want to see the Birds win for sure, but I wanted to see them win, against San Francisco's best. So that was the big thing for me. I was glad to see them run the ball over them. Yes, they got the field in plus territory, a lot of turnovers, and getting them off the field and 3 and outs real quick. But a lot of mixed emotions right now.
When you think of the run game, I think back to the Eagles 2017 year where they had a great mix of Jay Ajayi and LeGarrette Blount. I think this year they have a great mix with obviously Miles Sanders is the one, Boston Scott, Gainwell. In terms of comparison, the 2017 championship season to this season, anything similar, anything different in your mind in terms of player makeup, the feel of the team, where they're at right now?
I think the difference is with that particular group, they had that underdog tag going for them. And I thought that was a big difference going in, having lost their starting quarterback. And that was a team, they lost Darren Sproles. They lost a bunch of guys during the season. And, they won that really close game against Atlanta, and then they blowtorched Minnesota. And, I was concerned, obviously, going in and playing Tom Brady. But I think they're two different teams. And I think, I was never the biggest Howie Roseman fan, but I think you have to give him credit for turning over the team. I think the Eagles are a really talented team. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to win on
those moves that Howie made. Absolutely changed the game. Like draft night, the trade for AJ Brown completely changed everything. I feel like. Now I was absolutely cursing Howie's name like 2 years ago, like when all the shit with losing Wentz and all that happened. But he's a genius now. I see it. I think it was all good moves for the better now. And you have that the front office, like you said, they went out and got so many. I guess didn't add that many weapons necessarily because they already had a lot of young guys. But getting AJ Brown and surrounding Hurts with all of those guys, you have Sanders, Hurts, Devontae, Goddard, and then you have Gainwell, Scott. Like you have so many weapons for him overall. Quez, like there's no shortage of skill players that Hurts can get the ball to that can make plays. So I think that helps big time too.
It's been a dominating year for the Eagles. It's the recipe of a great offseason, very aggressive free agent signings and trades. Who do you think's most responsible for the success the Eagles have had lately?
I mean, if I had to pick somebody in the front office, dude, a man has to admit when he was wrong, and I admit I was wrong about Howie Roseman. I mean, how can you not? I mean, the moves he's made this year, getting Bradbury on a 1-year deal, he's been locked down. He's a Pro Bowl corner. Son Reddick, like I said already, could have been a decoy candidate. I mean, they made moves all over the place, or trade for AJ Brown, which obviously has made a drastic difference.
I think you look at Philadelphia's front office, what they've done in free agency and trade. I think you look at one of the best defense lines in the league and the weapons around it. Who do you guys think's most responsible for this Philadelphia Eagles success?
I think it's got to be Jalen Hurts. I mean, yes, you add AJ Brown, you add CJ, GJ, Hassan Reddick, you had James Bradbury, all these dogs across the entire field. Well, it's a quarterback-driven league. You're not winning anything without your quarterback, okay? So the fact that he made this insane jump from year 2 to year 3 is the reason we're here. No doubt.
Harrison, what do you like most about Jalen Hurts? When you think of Jalen Hurts, what comes to mind?
Oh, man, I think Jalen Hurts is just – he's grown to be on and off the field, the complete package for a quarterback. He's a hell of a leader. He has a command in the locker room. And then on the field, obviously, he has incredible game management skills at the line. He's able to make quick decisions. One of the biggest things that he's been able to work on, like Clay just mentioned, in my opinion, this year is when he rolls out. He's elite. You don't know if he's going to take off. You don't know if he's going to throw the ball. We've seen him have multiple 100+ rushing yard games this season. It's been an absolute treat to watch him, and he's playing behind 3 Pro Bowl offensive linemen in Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson, and Landon Dickerson.
He turned on and he put it on himself, and that's going to put them in position. You're a f***ing warrior. You're a f***ing warrior. You good, baby? The greatest. 8 seconds remaining in regulation of the AFC Championship game. It would be a 41-yard field goal attempt. Come on, man. Come on, bud. Harrison Butker, the biggest kick of his Chiefs' life. Placement is down. Butker's kick is up. The spinning kick high, floating in the air, and it is good! Good!
Watching that game, were you rooting for a particular team? Because obviously Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes, or did you want to play the Bengals, or were you like, give me the best, I don't care who we play, we're in the Super Bowl?
So my dad's been busting my chops. I wanted Dallas for the 49ers. I wanted the Bengals to win, but I wanted, when they played Kansas City, I wanted Kansas City to win because I'm still thinking that Patrick's not it. Like he's not 100%. He's got 3 wide receivers that aren't 100%. And the way our run line's working right now, or like our run game, like they're just not going to be able to stop us. Like, and I've been saying, like, it's from from down to the water boy all the way to Jalen Hurts. Like everybody, you could feel it in everybody's bodies. Like just even watching like them on the sidelines, their post game interviews. Like I know they're supposed to do that, but it's just like it's just not fake.
How do you see the Eagles winning this game?
Honestly, I think we were going to be surprised about how much we stifle this Chiefs offense. I don't see them scoring more than 2 touchdowns. I think this is a double possession win for the Birds.
Are you worried about Travis Kelce at all?
He's definitely a guy you got to look out for, but that's the only guy you got to look out for. It's not like they got Tyreek Hill still. You got Juju Smith-Schuster, Mecole Hardman, and MVS. Like, you don't got really any dogs besides Kelce. So while he is the best tight end in football, probably maybe behind Gronk as best all time, he's the only guy. And you can definitely key up on him. Gannon's going to just eliminate him from the game and make the other playmakers on this Chiefs offense step up.
I can see it being kind of similar to the 2017 Super Bowl with like how many times I think neither team punted, or they punted once or twice that game. So like I think it's going to be basically scoring a touchdown or kicking a field goal almost every time, with both of them going back and forth. And I think it's going to come up to some big stops by the Philly defense, whether that be forcing a turnover or just holding them. But I think it's going to be cutting it close with that. But I think the Philly D will come up clutch.
And when you close your eyes, you wake up on that victory Monday. What went well for the Eagles? How'd they get the job done?
I think it's the same way they've been winning all year, and how great football teams win is winning in trenches. You know, I think whichever way you want to look at it, they have a top 3 unit, both offensive and defensive line. And you look at years past, that's how great clubs win ball games. And I think they're the best front on both offensive and defensive line all year.
There's some negatives about the Eagles off the field. A lot of people have these stereotypes, connotations about these fans. What do you make of that?
Well, I haven't been an Eagle fan since the mid-'70s. They're, in some respects, they're kind of on very disturbing from time to time with some of their behavior. I think it's more sometimes with an NFL thing. And what I find interesting is every time somebody says they don't like a particular team, I think a lot of times they're talking about their fans. Like the Eagles have good guys on their team, as do the Dallas Cowboys and the Giants, what have you. I think a lot of people, when they talk about not liking a team, they don't like their fans. And, you know, the Eagles have had their own history of things that have gone on back at Veterans Stadium and now at the Link and what have you. So I try to be that very level-headed person when it comes to Eagles. That's, you know, say, hey, look, I'm not that way. I don't hate on anybody else's team. I root for my team to win. And, you know, that's kind of where I see it. Philadelphia, yes, very passionate with their sports teams. I think with the Phillies going to the World Series and
Eagles fans, passionate, loud, crazy, sometimes drunk.
How early will you guys start drinking Sunday for the Super? Because I think the game's at like 6:30. Probably won't kick off till like 6:50 p.m. When will you start drinking?
Well, last game we went to the tailgate at 10 a.m. And then the game before that, we started with a bottomless brunch, which was not a good idea. Also at 12 p.m. Yeah. So there's definitely like marathon weekends these last couple weekends. Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, I think we'll probably keep it casual in the morning, like maybe a mimosa. I don't know. Well, we're doing an open bar, so yeah.
Keep the magic going. Make a return to Barstool. It's a little bit more difficult this time since the Super Bowl and everything, but we're going to be close to Broad. That's the main goal.
Yeah, and it's been a luxury throughout the playoffs to have home field advantage. It's been a blessing, so we've been able to tailgate despite not having tickets, being able to get down there with the rest of the fan base.
Not that I agree with it, but what do you think of the stereotypes surrounding Eagles fans? They're obnoxious, they're loud, they're too their batteries at you.
Yeah, I mean, every fan base, you have a couple bad apples. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't matter if it's the Jags, who has a total of like 12 fans, or I mean, Philly's always got a bad reputation, and probably rightfully so.
Are honestly, I think, very nice people, and I say that completely unsarcastically. I know you're laughing. Okay, we are. If you're kind and respectful, yeah, we'll give you jabs. We'll mess with you. But if you just like take
Go back.
Go Birds!
And go fucking Birds. We're gonna tack some lines onto that one, baby.
Welcome to the Straight from the Crest podcast.